Good afternoon. The country I chose was Australia. It is officially known as the Commonwealth of Australia. It is an oceanside country. It is the world's sixth largest country by total area. Some of its neighboring countries include Indonesia, East Timor, and New Zealand. Australia is a developed country and is one of the wealthiest in the world, with the world's 12th largest economy. In 2004, Australia had the world's fifth highest per capita income. Their military expenditure is the world's 13th largest. Australia ranks highly in many international comparisons of national performances, quality of life, such as quality of life, health, education, economic freedom, and the protection of civil rights, liberties, and political rights. Some of the verbals and nonverbals that Australia has are very similar to the ones we have here in America. Because Australia is a low context culture, they rely heavily on words and communicating verbally, and that is their way those are their means of everyday communication. Verbal communication is generally very direct, open, and informal, even in the workplace. So they don't take things so much to heart like Americans do. When having a conversation with someone, they do not consider the person's status or their place in hierarchy. People in Australia do not see disagreements as offensive. Rather, they embrace it if it is substantial evidence or an effective argument is presented. So in other words, they do not, when someone voices their opinion, they do not see it as rude. Instead, they actually take it in. They process what is being said. They sometimes, then if they disagree, then it leads into a more prestigious conversation, but it is never seen as arguing. Australians are also very well known for using cultural expressions or slang when communicating with another. Some examples of common slang terms used in conversation are the ones that we hear as hi mate, no worries, bloody, and hooroo. I know whenever I've met some people from Australia before, I saw them in Vegas, and anytime we'd see them like on the strip or because they were staying in the same hotel, like a hi mate, like that's literally the way they communicate with each other. It's so nice because Americans say hey friend or hi friend, and in Australia they say hi mate. Some of their non-verbal communications has a lot of different elements in the Australia culture. Aussies like their personal space. They don't like their personal space should never be invaded. It is frowned upon. Aussies know to stay at about an arm's length away when they are having a conversation. So typically, whenever we speak face to face, we're maybe about a foot apart. Aussies like to be an arm's length away, so they do not like to have their personal space invaded. Eye contact. When people use eye contact in Australia, it is valued and it shows a level of respect and trustworthiness. So whenever they're speaking and let's say someone from another country comes in and let's say a native from Australia is speaking to that person, if they look you directly in their eye, that means that they have enough respect towards you to look you in the eye. If they don't have any respect to you, they will not look you in the eye. They will probably look behind you or above you. Hugging and kissing on the cheek is something that the Australians keep for those who they have a very close relationship with. Us Hispanics, like, we meet someone and we're hugging and we're kissing them. We have that culture that drives us to do that with any person that you meet, even if it's for the first time. Australians keep it solely for the people that they do have a very close relationship with. If they're meeting you for the first time, they will more than likely just shake your hand. Gender. There is still a lot of gender inequality in Australia. Australia has a persistent gender pay gap. Between 1990 and 2009, the gender pay gap remained with a narrow range of 15% and 17%. In August of 2010, the gender pay group was 16.9%. So the males in Australia do generally get paid a little bit more than the females do. Studies show that unexplained differences in wages may be due to direct discrimination. So they will literally discriminate a female in the workplace, and they won't pay her as much as they would pay a male, and they will directly let you know that is why they are not paying you as much as they are paying the male coworker. Studies also examine that the gender pay group is much greater among high wage earners than among low wage earners. So I guess middle class jobs and low class jobs, such as the minimum wage jobs, they typically get paid the same, males and females do. It is more in the business professional level that the males do get paid a little bit more than the females do. According to data retrieved from the Australian Bureau of Statistics, the gap between men and women in terms of life expectancy was that men lived to an average of 75.9 compared to the 81.5 for women. Some things that Australia is known for is their Sydney Opera House, the Great Barrier Reef, beaches, Australian reptiles, Ugg boots, winning the America's Cup from America, the Outback, Steve Irwin, and Crocodile Dundee. I looked up their relationship and their interpersonal relationship statuses and whatnot from Australia, and they are typically the same as in America. They do have the same relational needs that we do.